Hello and welcome to another episode of Northside Now. This is the podcast where we take you on a tour through all of the ministries and the latest happenings around Northside Church to keep you better connected with your church family. My name is Patrick, and with me as always are my co-hosts, Glenn Miller and Kevin Bryant. Hello. What's happening?
So as we're recording this, we're Maying the 4th to be with us.
Yes.
Maying the 4th.
That is exactly how you say that.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
Maying the 4th. Hey, how do you tell the difference between a alligator and a crocodile?
I do not know. I mean, is this a legitimate question or
Scientific,
is this a
scientific.
joke?
Scientific.
I feel like this is a dad joke. It's got to do something with their snouts, like one of them's wide and one's skinny.
The kind of
right?
water they're in.
No, one will see you after a while, and the other will see you later.
See, I knew it.
Yes, I knew
I sensed it coming.
What a joke!
Isn't that a good one? I heard that the other day from a little kid, and I was like, "Oh, that's a genius joke." I have to remember that. And right before we started recording, I remembered it. So we were talking the other day with Brandon, the newspaper guy, and we've been trying to get him to get cartoons back in the paper. So I had this great idea the other day. What if we did the sermon notes like in the bulletin, but you made them into like a crossword puzzle?
I think that's brilliant.
So you would like have but then keywords would be like lined up in a crossword puzzle.
And we could also put cartoons in the bulletin
Put a cartoon in the bulletin.
Yeah, we could put a little family circus in there.
Or we could just create one like Stick Man Goes to Church or something. And
create our own little, like, it's basically our own mini newspaper, right?
Yes, every
Sunday
morning. You do your little crossword while the person's preaching.
I mean, it's already got like all the upcoming news for the church. We just got to add a crossword and some cartoons, and we're good to go.
Gotta have some comics.
Yeah.
All different learning styles, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Of course, it could defeat the push for eliminating distraction during the service,
But we are in a generation that multitasks. Just ask them.
You're right.
We just have to manage the distraction.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. People will find, everybody has a cell phone now. They've got distraction right there. We just have to manage it. We can focus their distraction.
Maybe we should just collect the cell phones at the door.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, boomer. Boomer.
Yes,
Yeah,
if you haven't heard that episode,
Speaking
go back
of
and
a
check
lead
that
balloon, yeah, that would be. I'd probably agree with the youngsters on that one. I'm like, nah, sorry.
I've heard about that, not necessarily in church
At a
service.
church?
I've heard people talking about, no.
Now, I know youth groups do that. We do it occasionally if they're good,
Yeah.
but we make the kids really learn to be responsible.
Well, during church, you could open your Northside Church app and you could read along in the Bible. There's
That's
sermon
totally
notes
right.
in there a lot of times. You can see all the
You could take notes.
the events coming up.
So
You
why
can take your notes.
isn't there a crossword puzzle on the app?
That's a good question. I'm going to work on that.
Patrick's fingers are tired from bingo cards.
Yeah, bingo, bingo, still ringing in my ear.
Bingo.
Bingo. Now you have a little one.
I do.
So
yeah.
what nursery rhymes and things are current right now that y'all are? Do you like just bust out in any nursery rhymes?
I don't know. Right now, I just sing whatever I want because she doesn't understand human words yet. So,
Well, she's not going to learn them if you don't speak. He's over here speaking Klingon to him or something. You know, like
Do you know Klingon? Really?
oh, I wish.
Oh,
Elfish or something.
I just speak Jabba the Hutt.
or what music?
Huttese.
What music do you play for her? Just whatever's on is what she'll hear.
Yeah,
Right?
she just listens to whatever I listen to. We were listening to some Chet Baker in the car yesterday. So,
She like it. She did.
yeah, she digs some jazz.
What's the band that you like?
Coheed and Cambria.
Yes, thank you.
She digs that. That's
Nice.
It's a little hardcore for her.
Yeah,
a
it
little bit,
is.
But
Have you listened to any rap with her yet?
not really. I don't listen to a whole lot of rap.
Well, there was like a song Clay was young about Autumn's age, and you know they had to throw out those hard beats, and really, I don't know if it was really a rap song or maybe like a Toby Mac song or something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that head went to bobbing, and he was like, "Go back, go back."
Well, I'm a bass player, so a lot of times I listen to some kind of funky grooving bass songs. And the other day I turned one on and she started bobbing her head up
Yeah,
and down. I was
there
like,
you go.
okay, girl,
Nice.
feel it.
You don't ever know what nursery rhymes and stuff are not politically correct anymore, but
Yeah.
I think the songs still kind of hang around a little bit. And
No, we were singing Veggie Tales the other day
oh, see, that's good.
because I like Veggie Tales. Although I think she was done by the third time I sang the cheeseburger song. So,
She probably likes the hairbrush song
yeah, she does.
or the water buffalo song.
How do you not like the Water Buffalo song?
I know.
Everyone's got one.
Barbara Manatee.
Manatee, manatee. That's pretty.
Yeah, those are some good ones.
Man, kids just didn't know what they were missing in the 90s
I know.
with VeggieTales.
Did you know that VeggieTales was like groundbreaking? Because it was like the first 3D animation even before Toy Story. Yeah.
I guess that's right. I did know it was one of the earlier leaders.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So today, as we're recording this as well, Patrick and I and some of the other staff went to the mayor's prayer breakfast today. Interesting when we gather all the churches and different faith communities along with the government community and all that into the same room.
Yeah.
Interesting dynamics.
It's just interesting also just kind of looking across like when we're singing the songs and like how different people react and worship.
Yeah.
Although, did you notice the one thing that everyone had in common? All the preachers like to talk.
Some of them
give a preacher a microphone. And
exactly. Exactly. Some of them definitely took their moment with their prayers.
Yes, they did.
Went into a little mini sermon.
Yeah.
It's like this thing could have been done 15 minutes ago if you'd stop praying.
Yeah. But shout out to, was it Lighthouse Church? Their praise band did the music for.
They did a really good job.
Did a great job. Yeah. That was really well done. And
props to the Pro Presenter guy that he had the words right the whole time. I didn't see any mess ups. So
They do this down at the fairgrounds? Where do they do
No, it was at the Civic Center.
Civic Center.
In the past, it's always been fairgrounds, I think, or at least the last several years I've gone, it has been. But this year it's Civic. And I'm actually glad I looked this morning when I left the house just to make sure. Because in my mind, I was going to the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's what
and I
I've
looked
heard.
at the ticket. I was like, oh, ooh, I almost messed up.
This was my first experience with the Mayor's prayer breakfast.
So what do you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the
a good
food.
thing. It's different.
I mean, it was breakfast and it was prayer, and it was a good way to start the day for sure.
Yeah.
So it is kind of cool seeing when you kind of get rid of the denomination barriers and everybody's kind of there together because, you're in a room with a lot of people that you wouldn't normally be in a room with.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you realize that, we probably all have a lot more in common than we have differences, but we tend to put up those barriers. And
I was listening to a podcast just this morning. It was a little bit late, or I was watching it late, because it was about Easter, and it was talking about technology in Easter and just lots of different things, how we make Easter really big, and is that really authentic to our congregation if someone is trying to investigate or check out our church in advance of coming? So like if I'm new to Jackson and I'm shopping websites, like I'm pretty sure everybody does, myself included, and we happen upon the Easter festivities or whatever, and we go expecting that. And then the week after Easter or wherever, it's not like that.
Yeah.
So how do we manage that from a technology standpoint? Should we do that? Should we not do that? And there was lots of conversation. I thought it was a good discussion.
I think it's okay to do that.
Yeah,
And
well,
just know they can expect that once a year on
well,
Easter.
and I think Easter Resurrection Sunday, it's a big deal. So
it's a
why not?
celebration. Yeah.
But anyway, the thing that came out of that I thought was interesting is this. He was a worship leader in charge of tech and things like that. And he did a video there. He lives in Oklahoma and had 26 churches in the area, something like that. And so he did a video where he just did a little snippet of himself in front of all those churches.
Ah, yeah.
And he put that out. And I really like this. He said, it's Easter. You've got a church probably near you, and it doesn't really matter who you go to because they're going to talk about Jesus. So just go to one.
Yeah.
And try it out. And I was thinking through that and how many times us, either as staff or members of a church, it's a competition. We want you to come to our church.
We got to drop a bunch of Easter eggs out of a helicopter.
Whatever the gimmick may be. And it really should be about, no, we just want you to hear about Jesus today. So are we missing the point? Being so competitive to come to our church and not that church over there.
Yeah.
Because if you go to that church, then we don't have you and it's a competition. Well, can we really all exist together, coexist that way?
Technically, we're all one church because church is the body of Christ.
But do you think all of
particular
these bodies of Christ in Jackson do that?
Well, it's the old saying that 11 o'clock is the most segregated hour of any week.
Yeah.
And I thought about that a little bit today as we were looking across that room. Here at Northside, we're used to some diversity and some inclusion here, but it's not what it could be.
Right.
And I've often said, what if everybody just got rid of their church sign, And when we do things like with the dodgeball tournament and stuff like that with youth groups, it's always fun because we do that a little bit. But I have friends in youth ministry and all kinds of other ministries that their job performance is rated by numbers. I mean, it's like how many cars you sell a month.
Got to meet your quota of kids showing up. Yeah.
And they really are. And that's tough.
Yeah.
I've talked with people and this is all over the country, and they're just in tears going, I can't do this anymore. And this is the reason I can't, because you can't. And especially if you understand your faith walk and your stuff, this is not what I'm here to do. So it's tough, but it's real.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think, was it Jill Donald that said pride is one of the biggest things for entertainers?
Oh, yeah.
But it's for all of us.
Yeah.
To me, it should not be about where you go. It's what's your relationship with God.
Yeah. I do a lot of speaking for FCA, and when I get in front of a team, I know there's multiple churches.
Sure.
And religions even present. Never once have I ever invited anybody to our church.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm standing in front of a group of kids. I could do it. To me, it's just so unethical to do that, because it's just not what I'm there for. I'm not there about our church. I'm not there. I'm there about Jesus and loving on these kids, no matter who they are.
You don't get
them.
into theological debates and over little differences.
No. There's no doctrine taught, And that's one of the reasons I like Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yeah.
And I have always responded to them because of that reason. They're not about a sign, But yeah, still the most segregated time frame of any week is those Sunday morning worship times. Pretty tough stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think that's found in Scripture anywhere.
Well, we Christians are pretty good at finding stuff to complain about.
Yeah.
As opposed to bringing people together. So, that's a lesson for all of us.
Yeah.
How can we find the things that are common, the things that unite us, instead of the things that divide us?
Yeah, which one of the ladies that prayed there at the end, that was her prayer.
Yeah.
Was unity. She was praying over unity, and she read a verse out of Ephesians. I want to say it was 5th chapter, maybe. I could be wrong. But it was Ephesians something, and was talking about just unity and how she understood the weight of this prayer. Actually, I reached out to her. I really hope we get her on the podcast.
That sounds good, yeah.
She hadn't finished praying, and he had already sent her a message.
Yeah, I was like, you're going to get her. So,
awesome.
That's true. He's not lying. And so, but it was really probably one of the strongest prayers of the day. All of them were great, but that one was just really good because she talked about the weight of unity and how blessed she felt to be able to deliver that prayer. And so I was glad to hear that prayer given during the prayer breakfast, knowing that the Bears are in a runoff and all that.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah. I mean, it's so prevalent. I think sometimes I fall into the trap of being numb to it sometimes because but the last 5 years for sure, with all of the deaths in the news and race relations and things like that, I feel like we shouldn't let that issue go. We need to constantly be battling against our disunity.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that can separate us. Why don't we focus on the commonalities, the things that really matter and the things that God sees anyway?
Yeah. And this is going to be important for us in the future because we're about to go through another major presidential election process, and nobody's ultimately just super happy about anything right now.
That's true.
So that's going to get worse, or at least it's going to be on display more. I don't know if it's going to get worse. I'm not going to predict the future. That's not what I do, but it's going to be on display more.
Yeah,
that's not a prediction. That's a guarantee.
The prophecy wasn't your calling there.
Well, it is.
But we should call you Prophet Glenn.
Yeah, there was a movie once, The Apostle. I think Robert Duvall was in it,
right.
and he claimed himself as an apostle, and that's interesting stuff. So I always get nervous when start throwing around spiritual gift titles on yourself.
Yeah.
So, hey, have y'all been watching any TV lately? How you digging those reruns?
I don't watch actual TV anymore is the problem.
Depends on how you define TV.
Yeah, that's true.
I watch it on a TV.
Yeah. And when you say reruns, is it because I've watched The Office 10 times now? Like, does that count as a...
Well, our writers, our TV show writers, which it does affect the streaming people as well.
Yep.
Late night shows, all the things. They're on strike again.
They are. We lived this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And before that, I remember this like in the mid 90s.
Really?
Yeah.
Too?
Yeah.
Or late 90s. Late 90s.
I just remember the 2008 strike.
Goes through like every decade.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. It just is not fun when they do this.
Well, don't worry. The Andor scripts, the Star Wars Andor scripts for season 2 were finished 2 days before the strike.
Okay.
So we're clear there.
They wanted the Force to be with us.
Yeah.
That's plaguing people as we speak, I'm sure. And so you're going to have to get outside.
Oh, my goodness.
It's springtime. Why are you sitting in a house watching TV anyways? Maybe work in your garden or...
People don't know how to play outside anymore. What are you talking about?
Go outside.
All the pollen driving many of us crazy.
My grandmother used to say, go out and get some stink blown off of you.
Yeah, that's
Maybe you
good.
should just take a bath. How about that?
Yeah, really. She'd have been fine.
I thought you just put on new clothes.
Go get out
That's
in the
how you did
pond
it.
or something.
That's
That'd been good.
I'm going to use that now. Get some stank blown off.
Go get some stank blown off.
Although I don't know, the pond kind of adds to you.
Yeah, our
You get in the
grandparents'
pond.
pond was gross. Man. That thing, the mud in that thing at
Yeah.
the bottom is real silty. It had fresh springs, so it was always cold year round.
Yeah.
And I was in high school before I would swim in it because I had seen snakes in it, and so I thought like there might be an anaconda in there or something.
Snapping turtles and
Yeah, the snapping turtles are dangerous.
Yeah.
they're way more dangerous than people believe.
agreed.
So then when I got older, I had actually dreams that, because in that part of Texas now, there's alligators in a few places. So now I think it's full of alligators in a dream one time.
This came up when I was working yesterday. I don't know how the conversation came up, but we were talking about pets that people discard.
Oh, yeah.
Snakes,
The Florida Everglades is full of them.
alligators,
Apparently there's monkeys down there,
Monkeys
right?
too, yeah.
spiders, the things that, quote, are flushed down the toilet, fish and things that actually can survive in liquid.
Yeah.
Carp and things like that now have become invasive species
Oh, yeah.
because of people just, dumping them. So I don't know. We might see a monkey here soon, or
Good. A Bengal tiger.
pet armadillos that people came and dumped in Tennessee.
They just walked across the bridge.
I was going to say, they just walked here.
Walked across the
They were
bridge.
tired of being in Texas.
The hogs are coming next, so get ready for that. It's not as good.
I definitely see more armadillos on the road than possum
Oh, yeah.
or any other animal for that matter.
Actually, to show you the difference between Glenn at 53 and Glenn at 23 is I let a armadillo cross the road the other day.
As opposed to trying to take it out.
Yeah. So no longer am I driving a beat up old truck, number one, because I had just hit it before. I was like, no, I don't want to take a risk of hurting the plastic underneath this truck.
That's right.
And then number two, it's just like, come on, dude.
Armadillos are just like armored battle possums.
They
Yes.
are. They're just
They'll take out something on your car.
get across the road already.
But apparently that armor doesn't help them too much.
No,
no.
not against a
It's no-
Ford F-150.
Yeah, really.
So it's like, hurry up, get on across the road. So, well, like we said, we were recording this a little bit before, but we hope that your May is starting off well. And we're going to remind you one more time, your last warning about Mother's Day.
Yep, it's the last one you get.
Your last
Warning. I love that.
I'm not sure if my mother-in-law listens to the podcast. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to get her. I saw this T-shirt pop up on my Facebook the other day, and I'm going to have my daughter make it. And it says, "My favorite child is my son-in-law." So I'm going to get her that for
Nice.
Mother's
That's
Day.
good.
She would dig that.
You know what? I might be able to get that for my mother-in-law.
My favorite child is my son-in-law. Isn't that great? Maybe we'll just get all matching ones.
That's good.
For our mother-in-laws.
There you go.
That's really
I could
fun.
see this backfiring though.
Yeah.
She's basically calling you a child.
That's fine. I'd have taken her as my mom. That'd been fine. So, anyways, mothers, happy Mother's Day out there. And
Yes.
everybody else, you've been warned.
You've been warned.
Take care of mom. Patrick, what else we have coming down the pike besides Mother's Day?
Well, before we get to Mother's Day, Friday, we have a parents' night out. So you can come drop your kids off here at the church, at the nursery, and
Right.
have a Friday night to yourselves. Whether you want to go out to eat, go see a movie, go take a nap, whatever you need to do,
Christmas shopping.
or Mother's Day shopping.
Christmas shopping's probably a good
Oh
idea.
no, we're not going back there.
Probably a good idea. You only have
Hey Siri, how many days until Christmas? 235 days until Christmas.
Wow.
So you've only got 235 days, people.
Starting to break out in
know.
a sweat because I don't have my stuff bought
Start
yet.
Christmas shopping.
well, in about 35 of those days, they'll start advertising for it.
Exactly.
You got it.
I think I saw Christmas trees in the store yesterday. But yes, that is going to be this Friday, 5:30 to 8:30. It is for kids 8 weeks to 10 years old. Cost is $5 per child or $10 max per family. And they're going to have some pizza.
Cool.
Yeah, that's some good pizza.
Yeah.
And then we have Mother's Day on the 14th. And then the next big thing that we've got coming too quickly is the youth musical.
Yep.
Which will be the first weekend in June.
Yep.
So
Second, third, and fourth.
second, third, and fourth. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
We have some fun guests coming soon. Miss Tennessee is going to be with us.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun to have her in. And Miranda Goldsby and Millie Cagle and some of the new staff people that are on. We're
Millie
gonna have
Hayes.
them. Millie Hayes. I'll never.
You're one of those. No.
I'm one of those. Millie Hayes. Sorry, Millie Hayes. Cagle Hayes. At least, and I'm not going and I don't call her Camille.
I know.
That's just so funny to me when you know someone for so long one way. I still call Laura Miller Murphy. I can't.
Well, that makes
I
sense.
can't even call her anything other than that. So, but I actually told Derek one time, it is no disrespect to you. I just can't do something different with her.
It's like once you learn somebody one way, it's really hard to call them something else.
It's like,
Well, that's a nickname kind of thing too.
it'd be like
So-
renaming my daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like all of a sudden you're no longer Celeste or Summer. You're now something else. I was like, it's hard enough to change their names in my phone to their married names.
Right.
Much less doing
Right.
that. So it's pretty funny. So yeah, we have some cool guests and some fun times coming up on the podcast real soon. So stay tuned.
Well, guys, thanks for podcasting with me. Thanks to all of you out there in the world for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from us, you can follow us on Instagram at Northside Now Podcast. Go to our website, northsidejackson.com, or email us at podcast@northsidejackson.com. We hope to hear from you soon. Once again, this is Patrick.
Yeah, this is Glenn.
I'm Kevin.
And that's what's happening at Northside Now.
Bye-bye.